Hi guys, this is part 2 of my Unreal Engine 5 multiplayer series, and in today's video we'll be learning about variable replication, and we would be doing the implementations both in Blueprints as well as C++. So let's get started guys. Here I've started with the third person template, but yours could be anything. So in order to learn about variable replication, let's go ahead, head over to our third person BP blueprints and third person character. So this is the character blueprint for this character that you see right here. So if we go ahead and press play, things working normal, and if we go to the net mode, change it to play as listen server and change the number of players to 2. Okay, so now we see 2 players. So the movement is replicated by default, as you can see. Although it's not really smooth, I'll get to why that is. That's actually due to the replicate movement not being good enough. So we'd have to do some form of interpolation. So now let's just start by creating a health variable in our character. And if you guys don't know how to do all this, or if you want to know more things about variables, you can check out my video which I have on my channel. I will put an iCard on the top, and over here let's just create a simple fire function. Don't worry guys, we'll be going over all of these in future videos. So just a custom event fire, just make this capital, then we'll do a line trace by channel. So we'll just get the player camera manager. So get the forward vector, and now we'll get the camera location, or get actor location. So get actor location, and then we should add this with our forward vector multiplied by a constant. So in order to get a constant so that it's same on all the axes, so 2 vector float, so it'll be in this direction multiplied by the magnitude. So in this case it'll be, let's say, 1000, and let's just hook this up to the plus here. This will be the trace end, and the location of the camera will be the trace start. So let's just compile that. And if you guys want to know about custom events and the other events such as begin play, I have another video for that. Again, you guys could check that out. So now what we can do, oh, and first things first, we have to go to a character mesh, go into the collision, and if you would notice, it ignores visibility. So what you have to do is you have to go ahead and set this to custom and just set visibility to block. Otherwise we would not be able to register hits since the trace channel here is visibility. Let's just draw debug for duration, so it'll be there for a few seconds. Then we can break this hit result, and on the hit actor we are going to apply damage. We'll apply point damage, and I'll be talking about all of these in detail. So let's just say 30. Now that we have a health variable, let's just initialize that to 100. So 100, and let's set the slider range from 0 all the way up to 100 and up to 100. Now for the hit info we can just plug this in, and then for the damage causer we'll leave that for now. We'll talk about that in the future video when we are actually getting into setting up firing functionality. Now once we have this, so whenever it hits the character, so an event point damage fires, point damage. Now this is the default damage system in Unreal Engine. Although for your game I would still suggest you have your own damage system, but doesn't really matter. This tutorial is intended for variable replication, so it's fine. So once that is done, let's just set up a simple input event, left mouse. So we are going to fire. So this is a pretty straightforward setup. So if I go ahead and press play, if I go and damage the client, or actually it's not going to print anything out. So we could do one thing. So on event tick, thing that I have done is over here, I've set the time for tick to 0.2 seconds. So it's going to print 5 every second and not gonna spam us. So is locally controlled. If it is locally controlled, then it's going to print out the health variable. So we could just do this. The reason I'm doing locally controlled is because each character can actually get a reference to this health variable. So let's say I have 2 players here. So right now the server is printing this particular character's health variable and the client is printing this particular character's health variable. So now if I go ahead and damage the client, what you'd notice is that nothing's really happening. The simple reason is that this health variable is not replicated. Now instead of locally controlled, if I do is server, and if I now go ahead and press play, you would see that the health variable updates no problem. The reason this is happening is because we haven't replicated our variable. So we could go ahead and enable replicated. So now if we go ahead and press play, you'd see that the variable updates on the client as well. So it's 10 on the client. That's exactly what we want. But now you'd notice one small problem. Whatever's happening here is fine on the server, but let's say I make the client fire, you see nothing really happens. The reason is that we are firing this trace and applying the damage on the client, which is wrong. So the main reason is that we need to set this health variable on the server. So what we can do is we can have this as run on server. We will talk about remote procedural calls later in the series, how this to reliable. And then let's just collapse this to a function. Right click, collapse to function, and let's just name as trace ends, and let's just make it pure so that it won't have an execution pin. We don't need it. So we have a start and we have an end. So pretty straightforward. Now we need to do another remote procedural call that is on the client to give the camera location and things like that. So start and end, and then custom event fire underscore CLI maybe. Then this will be running on the owning client, again reliable. So we are going to get the trace ends, then fire. So start and end. Now instead of firing the server fire, we could do fire CLI. Now if I press play, this works normally, as you can see, and now you would see that even the server's health is reducing. So now even the client can damage the server. So what did we learn now? Now we learned how to replicate the value of the variable between the server and the client. So at any instance, if you would see, the client and the server would have the same value for the health variable. So this is the way you do it. Now the next question that might arise is, what's up with this rep notify over here? And now we'll be talking about that. And guys, if you guys have any questions or any other suggestions, you could join my Discord server, link to that in the video description as well. Alright guys, so let's talk about rep notify. So generally rep notify is used for things which require something to be executed on all the clients, and you want that to be replicated in such a way that, let's say, a player disconnects and reconnects, that function should fire again so that things are still in sync. So let me just show you what I mean. So if this is less than or equal to 0, what I can do is I can create another variable. I can call this killed, and this would be of type boolean. So I can go ahead and compile that. So set killed, and this one is going to be a rep notify. So what you'll notice on the left hand side is that it just created a function called on rep killed. So now if this is true, set killed to true. Now we could do one thing, we could just print out a string to show you guys what I actually mean, and we could stop this print string over here because we know the health system works. So now if I play, if I go ahead and damage this client, so now it prints hello. So what you'd notice is that it prints hello on the server as well as print hello on the client as well. So what I want to tell you guys is that this function on rep killed is going to be called on every player. So some things which can be done with this is things like ragdolling, because physics is not replicated over the network by default, just like movement. So what you can do is go ahead and in your on rep killed, so you could get a reference to the mesh, could set collision preset, so collision profile name actually. So I believe it's called ragdoll. Yes, ragdoll. And then you can set simulate physics to true. So this is just a common use case that I've put up over here to demonstrate to you guys how rep notify works. So if I go ahead and damage the server, 1, 2, 3, 4, you'd see that the ragdolling works. There's one small issue here. If you would see, I'm actually colliding with something if you run into the player. The reason this is happening is because the capsule component is still in its place. So a simple fix to that is collision, set collision enabled, new type, no collision. So now that problem should be fixed. So now I don't bump into anything. Okay guys, so now let's talk about the C++ implementation. So go ahead and go to tools, create a new C++ class, and let's create a character, and let's just go next, public, and let's call it character underscore base. Let's just create the class and I'll be back. Okay guys, so now we are inside of the C++ file. So now let's go ahead and start creating the variable. One thing that I have done is went ahead and changed this health variable's name to BP health, so that we are actually not naming them the same. So now let's just do the initial setup. There is one extra step in C++. You need to include this header file right here, hash include net/unreal network.h. Now we need to call this function here. So void a character base, and it's going to be called get lifetime replicated props. And then we are going to have a T array. F lifetime property will be the type, and out lifetime props, and finish that with a const. So now once we have that, inside the body, let's just type in super get lifetime replicated props, out lifetime props, and end that with a semicolon. Now let's just type in do rep lifetime. So we can type in our character's name, a character underscore base, comma health, and let's just create our health variable over here, which we haven't actually done. So let's just use the u property macro, and we'll have it replicated, and we'll give it another specifier, blueprint read write. So what this will allow us to do is make this variable replicated first of all, and moreover this will be exposed to blueprint, so we'll be able to continue our logic over there. And now once we have this all set up, One thing to note is that you can add more variables by calling this do rep lifetime again, and you can change the name of your variable over there. And over here, let's just type in float health equals 100.0f semicolon, and that should pretty much be it. Let's go ahead and right click, build, and let's just get our error list as well as our output window. So other windows should be there, output, yeah. And build succeeded. Okay guys, so now I've restarted the editor. Now if we right click and type in health, we get our health variable. We can set health as well, so we can reuse this variable. So let's say you had some logic in C++, now you could use that as well and make your code more performant. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it did help in making you guys understand how to replicate variables inside of Unreal Engine 4. If you guys have any questions, post them on my Discord or in the comment section below, and make sure you guys do subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you won't miss any future videos. So goodbye guys.